Hello guys, and welcome to the video. In today's video we're going to create this beat from scratch in FL Studio titled Raise a Sound by Folabi and Nuel. That being said, without any further ado, let's get started. So guys, I've used Audini to convert this vocal, alright? So let's take a listen.
Father, we raise up a sound to you, Lord. You are the earth. We raise it up, yeah.
So literally what I did for this one is to add reverb to it and then take away the lows, okay? Of course, basically that's what you want to do to your vocal, all right? But then I've converted this with all the me, all right? So we're going to work with this, okay? Now, the first thing we have here is to create the progression, all right? So I did something pretty simple. I've arranged it according to the song, all right? Stay with me. I'm sure you will learn some new tips, all right? So the first thing is to start with the loop, okay? Let's start with the loop, So we have something like this throughout the entire song, all right? So, and that's that. And then we proceed to have something pretty simple like this in the beginning of the song. We have something pretty simple like that. This is what I use to create the strings. Let me just disable this one. So of course, if you've been following my tutorial, you understand the reason why I'm doing this, okay? So what I did is just to convert this to a WAV file, all right? This is the strings, okay? Let me enable the plugin so that you can take a listen. All right, so what I did is just to play the basic chord, okay? The key of the song is on E, all right? So pretty simple, the key of the song is on E, and the plugin that I use for that is this guy. So I used Omnisphere for these pads. Of course, you go to pad and strings, you can pick any of your choice. So that being said, I'm just going to disable this because we already have it here, okay? And then I introduce another strings. It's very important. First one is pads. The first one is strings and pads, but this one I introduce another parts to it, okay? Just to add more depth to the melody right there. This one. You realize I copied what we have here, I duplicate here. Of course, you know how to do that. So when you enable 3 of them, let's take a listen. So pretty simple. Now, this is where the song gets interesting, where the melody starts, okay? The intro, all right? First off, let me just play it here. I've converted it to a WAV file. This is it. Let's take a listen. Let me enable this one. All right. And then when you look at it, I also introduced this guy, something, those to solo it, all right, to part it. All right. Then when it gets there, I introduce another one, So the first one here, let me show you guys the instrument that I used for this one. I used Omnisphere for this one, and under guitars, I use this one, okay? Let me just enable it as I play it so that you can see what I did literally, all right? All right, you can pretty just click it and then you achieve something excellent. It's a very powerful plugin, all right? So literally that's the idea, all right? So when I now convert it to a WAV file, all right? So what I did is to convert this one to a WAV file. Of course, you know how to do that. I've explained that in my previous video. And then I did the same thing here, all right? I use this one to part it. This plugin, trust me guys, Ample bass guitar. Ample Bass is a very powerful plugin. You can try as much as possible to have it. All right, it's a very powerful one. I recommend it. So literally what I did now is to solo this intro. I'm going to enable it right now, and then so that we can take a listen. You see that? So it's pretty simple, all right? And this is exact plugin that I used, or exact instrument that I used in the real song, okay? I just try as much as possible to be very, very close and making sure that I have the same sound, all right? So these are one of the ways you improve, or this is one of the ways you improve your production skills, all right, as a producer. This one as well, this guy, I just play something like this. You know, that's what I did in that aspect. Then I just extract it to a WAV file like this as well. Let me disable this one. You see? That's it. All right. It's pretty simple. All right. So, of course, you can see it.
we raise up a sound to you, Lord.
So now you realize that this one, this guy, this one is at the middle, right? But when it gets to this point, I use this guy to pan into the right, okay? So it's still the same thing, this guy that you are listening to right now. Let me just go to my mixer. Let me show you guys something. Just watch. So as you can see, this is it. This guy, all right? This number 7, that's this guy. So when it gets to this point, I use this one, this guy. You see? So what I did is just to use this guy so that I pan it a little bit to the right side, because that's what I did in that aspect. Look at it. It's still in the middle, but when it gets to this point, it will pan itself. I've already do it automated. So guys, literally that's the idea. That's what they did in that aspect, okay? So that's what I did in that aspect. So I'm gonna return this one to where it was. Awesome, okay? Now, having said that, then what I did next is to hire this guy, okay? And then I also hired this guy, just hi-hat sound. I had this hi-hat sound. Next is to add this guy, just the same thing. Just to add this bell, all right? This one. Then what I did next is to introduce another strings, which I've, this is it here. I just extracted it to this guy. For this one, I just, take it up, an octave up or down. So you hold Control and then you want to click the arrow on your keyboard, up or down. So when you push it up, an octave up, it will give you more brighter sound. All right. Of course, you know how to do that. So literally that's what I used to achieve that. And the instrument for this one, for that one, is this guy. I use expand. All right. In this one, I use expand. So that's that. That's what I used to achieve that. Then I created something like this, that sound. Of course, you've been hearing that in the gospel a lot. So having said that, and then we have this instrument, pretty simple. I use this guy, the same instruments, all right, on the guitars, the same guy. That's what I used for this one, for this melody. And then, just click. Pretty simple, all right? You click to have your desired melody, all right? So, and literally that's that, because all these plugins, they consume a lot of CPU, all right? That's why I'm disabling them for tutorial purpose. But if I'm not doing tutorial, I will just leave them. But because of I'm doing tutorial and I'm still recording, I'm still using another software to record my screen. So it's taking a lot of my CPU, all right? So I don't want it to crack. That's why I disable them. I hope you get the concept. All right. So what I did now is just to arrange accordingly. All right. Pretty simple. That's what I did. If you look at it as well, you realize that what we have here, I just carried it and duplicate it here. You see it? I duplicate it here. And then, it's still the same thing, guys. It's still the same thing. I just arranged it. All right. After creating the foundation of the song, remember, I created the intro. After the intro, I just arranged it. What we have here is still the same thing as what we have here, okay? And then it's still the same thing as what we have here. I just cut some aspect of it. What you have to do is just to arrange according to the song, all right? You don't have to do too much, okay? And the only thing I know that I changed now is this one. The only thing that I introduced now that changed a little bit is this guy. That's the only thing that I know that it changed there. And of course, I've showed you guys the instrument. It's still the same. Expand. And then this time around, we use bells. All right. That's the first one. Pads. The second one. So two of them together, you have something like this. So for the bass, this is what I did. For the bass, let me just show you guys the instruments that I used for the bass. I used this guy. It's a very powerful bass. Easy bass. It's a very powerful plugin. You can try as much as possible to have it. Okay. You just click it, all right, and then you create your melody. If you find out that you don't, just adjust it, just do something. That's the idea, all right? It's pretty simple, all right? So literally that's what I did, Pretty simple, you can see it. So guys, that's it. Just click it and then you play something awesome. All right, let me show you guys right now. So by the time you play the bass now, see what happens. You see it? It's a very powerful plugin, trust me guys. And then now let me show you guys the preset that I used in this bass. When you load it, it can be on this one or the default one, all right? But you want to make sure that you come to this icon, this focused, this point, then I pick this one, focused and warm. It's a very powerful one. Trust me, you can, go through it, pick any one of your choice, but I love this one. It's kind of soft and more better to me. All right. Of course, you can change from that to maybe you want a vintage. This is modern, maybe you want the modern one, the vintage, but I prefer the modern one. Of course, two of them, it's a very powerful one. Trust me, guys, I have a lot of presets on the list. I have a lot of plugins, but I just make use of the one I feel like to work with. So I'm going to mute this one right now. We don't need it. I've extracted it to this guy like we always do. I've converted it to a WAV file, and then we can just go ahead and take a listen to this one. And then another thing I did is to introduce guy, something like this. So guys, the idea is just to be creative, like I always tell you guys. All right, it's pretty simple to do, and of course, you see the entire song. We have consistent loop going on under. So this is the first thing you want to create. All right, like me, because we are different, right? Like me, whenever I want to work on song, the first thing I do is to create the loop. These are the foundation of the song. As soon as I'm done with the loop, I now start to build the progression. All right, I will build the basic progression. Then after that, start adding the melody. All right, I will do it like 50%. Then I will now give it to the artist to sing on it. All right, so once the artist sing on it, I will now do the entire bit. All right, so literally that's how I do it. All right, but we are different. Yours could be different. All right, so literally that's the idea. So by the time you now had this guy now, by the time you had your drums right now, so you have something like this.
I know we raise up and down to you, Lord. You are the earth.
So what I'm going to do right now is to play it from the beginning to the end. So guys, literally that's the idea. That's the couple of instruments that I used. Let me show you guys again. The first one is omnisphere, and of course I've showed you guys accordingly. And then we have this one, amplifier, LP. We have this one as well, and we have this guy. That reminds me, I use a natural grand piano. Okay, so when we get to the main song right now, which is here. So I use this guy, natural grand piano. Just come here. Then you want to locate piano, acoustic piano. You can pick any one of your choice. That's how you literally find it. We have single layer parts. I use this one. Trust me, guys. There are lots of parts in this place. You just have to have little touch. And before you know it, you have something tremendous. Okay, so let's play it from the beginning right now. Let's take a listen.
I know we raise up and down to you, Lord. You are the end. We raise it up, yeah. Come on, lift your hands and roll. We raise the sound to the great I am. And we sing the song to the great I am. We raise the sound to the great I am. Singing honey, honey, Lord, you reign on high.
Yeah, so guys, I want to show you guys something. You see, when it gets to this point right now, I added this guy. This is where you hear this spicy. Look at it.
To reign on high. Hey, singing honey.
Honestly, you think maybe they do something pretty much in that aspect. It's pretty simple, just little touch, like I told you guys. Let's proceed. Let's proceed.
Singing honey, honey, Lord, you reign on high. Hey, singing honey, honey, Lord, you reign on high. Come on, lift your voice and oh, we reign.
So guys, it's pretty simple. You realize when you play the drums a little bit, I paused it here. This place is to give room for the lead. All right, I give room for the lead to express the song a little bit. All right, then before the backup comes in, I start the drums. It is very important. From here now, you see what happens, and then the beat comes in. All right, the drums. All right, let's take a listen.
Come on, lift your voice and oh, we reign.
All right, so I just stop here because it's for tutorial purpose. I don't want to be too much. All right, so that you don't get bored. All right, when it comes to gospel beat production, make sure that you are working with rich plugins. All right, you have and of course you want to try as much as possible to make a research on some other songs. If it is worship, if it is praise, all right, you try as much as possible. You want to listen to, your favorite praise song, your favorite worship song. You try to listen to the instrument that I used. Okay, they use this instrument. How can I get it? Because trust me, instrument will definitely add depth to your production. All right. Now, if you realize, of course, you see that I don't use any of the stock plugins in this project. All right. Not like there are no great plugins, right? But, that's how you expand yourself a little bit, because by the time you play it for people, they want to feel the depth in the song and your creativity as well, which is very important. Imagine I'm working with cheap plugins, plugins that are not really nice. We have a lot of guitars, right? If I now use instruments that they are not really rich in sound, you may not really feel it. All right. So that's why you see all these people, they use rich plugins so that you can't tell. Maybe they use FL Studio or they use Pro Tools or whatever does. All right. So make sure that you have a good plugins, VSTs, external ones. Of course, you can still use the stock plugins. All right. As long as it sounds pleasant to you, it sounds good to you. All right. You can still use it. Invest in it. It is important. All right. Try to invest in it. And then if you're still a beginner, the stock plugins, stick with it. When I started as well as a producer, I start with the inbuilt plugins, and then I try to improve myself on it. When I listen to song, I try to use another plugins to replicate what I'm hearing. All right. Just to make sure that I achieve the concept. All right. And before you know it, when I know that, okay, I'm getting better, of course, I'm still learning. All right. And when I say that, okay, I'm getting better, I had to stretch myself a little bit and try to get those plugins. So guys, that's it. And I hope that you find this video helpful. Okay. So the idea of this video literally is just to show you guys how you can arrange gospel song. All right. Just to share with you how you can make use of good plugins to produce a tremendous song. All right. As long as gospel beat is concerned. Okay. And most importantly, to show you guys the workflow. All right. How I arrange my stuff and all that, and how you too can do it. So literally this song, of course, the song, it's a very powerful song. I love it so much. So that's what I do. Any song I like, I take it, I try to redo it. And then if I say, okay, I have the same result, now I know that I'm improving myself. All right. So that's it. There's no shortcut to it. This is just all right. And I hope that you learned something very helpful in this video. And please, if you find this video helpful, all right, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. It's very important, so that, just make sure you like it, so that, it can inspire me as well to keep doing more, so that I'll be aware that you guys like this video. Okay. I want to do more. All right. And there are lots. So literally, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. Let me know what video you want me to make next. Until the next one, stay creative.